unbeatable. We'll train until we meet our goal. The stakes are high, no, we won't fold, because we are unbeatable. We are unbeatable. We'll train until we meet our goal. If stakes are high, no, we won't fold, because we are unbeatable.
Welcome to the world of Pokemon!
And thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Unbeatable as we get back to everything with all 4 of our cast members, everybody.
Big camera mode.
Go. Big camera mode. So, as we do today's episode of Unbeatable, we are going to begin still at the Cornucopia Daycare, but at this point, it has gotten much later in the evening. I believe it's around somewhere around 9 p.m. on, Matt, hit me with the date. Sunday, April 3rd. Just say it slowly. Sunday, April 3rd.
Sunday, April 3rd.
Sweet. Dope. And
It's so impressive you know off the top of your head, man.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
It's crazy.
Very impressive.
You have all gathered in the central family sitting area of the Wake household. At this point, it is the 4 of you, Miss Alicia Wake, former Pokemon Ranger and owner of the Cornucopia Daycare, as well as Seth's mom, and Sora Wake, his sister, also known as a Pokemon researcher, and all-around dope motherfucker. Sister. So, as we begin today's episode, we're going to begin with a little bit of a montage at this point in time, because it is assumed, and by the way, if you haven't done this, you should absolutely do this. It is assumed that anyone watching this episode has already watched everything in the main campaign up to the arc Shadowed Path for Unbeatable, and you have also watched a small spin-off series that we've done, Unbeatable Fennel Valley. If you've not watched that, they're available on YouTube and Spotify. You should give those a listen so you're not going to be confused as to all the shit that is going on in this conversation.
And technically, not technically, if you watch the mystery dungeon thing, please say nice things. I appreciate
please say
that.
nice things. Please say nice things.
But also, there's a secret Marvel ending at the end that doesn't necessarily connect through, but it does. But it doesn't give it an exact timeline of things. So just watch it and then comment and say I did a good job. Thank you.
Good job.
As you were. Continue.
As you were. Okay. So as we begin this, though, it is the 4 of you have sat down, as well as these 2 spectators who are there, and have begun to tell each other everything that has fucking happened over the last about 3-ish weeks that you've been apart. At this point,
it's been the longest 3 weeks of our lives. It feels like
it's been
a year.
under a month. Yeah, since you guys last spoke to each other. We are told tales of how the main group went off to Vermilion City, and they encountered there the Vermilion Construction Co., also known as their friend Vermilion's grandfather, and how this person was so paranoid over the attack of Articuno that they started building a giant gun to start shooting Pokemon out of the sky should they attack the city, and uncovering this plot, why they had to flee and head to Lavender Town, where they uncovered a different plot by a mysterious villainous group to try and track down Zapdos, the winged mirage of lightning, and one of Articuno's siblings. They thwarted that, discovering that their friend Perry was in fact a traitor for the Blue Rockets, and eventually made their way here to Cerulean City. Meanwhile, on the exact opposite end of the region, we had Gavin helping track down his father, Armand Kingsley, along with his sister. The 2 of them working with some local rangers to attempt to stop Armand Kingsley from capturing yet another legendary Pokemon, one known as Regice, which they were able to keep Armand from capturing, but ultimately ended up letting it free. And the 2 of your actions, letting Zapdos free and letting Regice free, coinciding enough to cause these massive storms that continue to act erratically across the Kanto region.
And that's what you missed on Clay.
Vermilion's grandfather building that massive thing, that's the equivalent of the grandpa sitting out on the stoop with a shotgun at all times, but if you gave them billions of dollars.
Yes. Yes.
Did we pass
That's
along
pretty
that
accurate.
Vermilion skedaddled away?
Oh, yes. And Vermilion currently not being present and having set off for the Sevi Islands to sort of find themselves after dealing after dealing with their grandfather and all of the sort of like familial drama that was happening there. So at this point,
Graham got arrested.
Oh, and Graham got arrested.
Yeah.
Based.
That's the last bit of information as Coryne goes, oh yeah, and Graham got arrested. That is where we'll enter back into this conversation as you have finished telling each other everything that was going on.
I left for 3 weeks and I missed 2 of the 3 legendary birds. Really?
Okay, well, but you got to see Regice? Like, that's crazy.
I'm surprised you didn't ask where Axel came from.
Huh?
Or I also have a Poplio. I'm surprised you didn't ask where he came from either.
Yeah.
The stress.
He's tweaking. He's tweaking.
Okay. I'm fine.
But I think that
recovery?
about sums it up. Any questions? And I look to the to the crowd.
Break the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Oh, there actually is an important bit of information that I did not mention in
Everyone
this,
look to
in
God.
this thing. There's a
No,
bit of
Aaron,
important information.
Oh, wait, actually,
no, but I'm
everyone
also the two people looking up as
into
well. I'm
the-
also Sarah and
I don't know the layout. I'm not going to have us look
When
into
God
the
is
whole
everywhere and
screen.
everyone.
Yeah. I like to. Seth, does your family have like one of those like pit front rooms where like the couch is like 3 feet lower than
Yes, I
everything?
put in our player chat. I said the Wake family has a sunken living room, and I sent a picture of the example. I didn't want to interject with that earlier, but I knew it was important.
I am not even in that chat.
This is where we mind meld. This
Mind
is
meld.
The
Let's
Wake family
go.
perpetually lives in the 70s.
That's so
okay.
funny.
So that's fucking awesome. I'm not even in that chat. That's really cool.
Aaron and I are both like, what would be the most comfortable living room to be in? Big
100%.
L-shaped couches, and it's sunken.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so the big important thing that I forgot to mention, which is relevant to the talk of legendaries, is the amount of information that you guys found hidden underneath Lavender Town regarding all of the legendaries that you've been able to track down. And I'm gonna tell you right now, players, if you guys want to chat about anything, it might be a good time to pull up your notes and compare notes
I want to talk
regarding to those
you.
things.
That's rude, considering I can't find my notebook.
I'm so sorry.
My sister know any
Don't know what I
information
did with
regarding
it.
these legendaries?
Spike's sister.
Does my sister?
Did you say your sister? That's why I'm trying to hear what
I
you
was
said.
speaking with a Sinnoh accent. My bad.
Oh, okay.
Does my sister have?
Oh, I
a-
heard Spike's sister, and I'm like, Spike's sister doesn't have any sisters. I'm really
No.
confused. Okay, yeah, let me
Because
make
she
some
does.
rolls.
She also does researching and stuff.
Let me make some rolls. I'm baking over here. Interesting. So you guys are telling each other this, and like you're having a conversation about like, oh, I miss the birds and everything. Glancing over, Seth, at your two family members who've been sort of observing. Your mom has already heard most of this and is like still just kind of like, man, this is a lot of shit that my son has managed to get up
But
to in like
she
3
said
months.
we're cool with it, so there's no bad feelings. She's okay with it.
I think that is a grave like overstatement of what
Run
she
the tape
said.
back, guys. Watch the last episode.
But,
She said it's cool. We're cool.
There's
now.
more like begrudging acceptance. Whereas your sister, who has heard zero of this, is just like horrified expression, like connecting, like, wait, that's what's going on with the weather, is two gods are interacting with each other, and there's these villains and all of these moments. Like, she's having a whole freak out session in the side. And when you guys are like talking about like, oh, you know, we got to 11, she like kind of perks up and she goes, wait, back up. What information did you find?
And then I'll I think all of our phones or one of our phones has all of those books digitized because we digitized them. So I will show her the books. Mainly just kind of go through like the cover of each one where it'd be like a folder that then has all the pictures.
That makes sense. Like that's like the thumbnail for each of
The
the files
starting
is the
point.
yeah. That's a good
categorizing.
choices all around that y'all are making. Good choices all around. But yeah, so you sort of like pull up the different books and she like starts to like go through them and she's like, and you guys found these in a grave, you said?
Yeah, grave with the name Giovanni on it.
Oh.
Tomb or grave?
Mom,
I don't
isn't
know. We'd
that
have to
the
find out
and
the
then
difference.
Alicia Wake confirms for the other three of you who are not present for the earlier conversation with Seth, where Seth ran his mom through all this. Yeah, that's the former leader of the original Team Rockets. He's not been spotted in 17 years. I wouldn't be surprised if this is something he set up before he left. Before,
So
the
he's-
Rockets splintered.
Right. He's not dead?
Nobody knows. There was rumors of him about 17 years ago, but I do think the last time he was actively seen was 20 years ago when the Rockets were brought down by the champion.
How
How old
would
is he?
that
Or
make
was
him?
he? Yeah.
He would be in his mid-60s.
Oh, there's a high chance he could still be alive.
If he is, we don't know if anything is going on with any of the other Rockets, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is something that happened. Well, even with the changing of, the problem is the changing of the Pokemon Tower and the House of Memories happened in that period between Giovanni disappearing and the last rumors of him being around. So nothing about this ties him to being more recently around. But Sarah like continues like scroll through. I mean, from what I can tell, there's like historical record of some of these legends, but I've never heard of most of these. Especially because this is not the region of the world where my research goes into it. But I mean, you kind of have to be crazy to live in Kanto Johto and not know the Tower Guardians or any of the Winged Mirages. This one though, and Sarah kind of like scrolls down to the one titled The Eon Twins. This one I recognize because Alto Mare in Johto has some similar historical connections to some of the places that I've looked at in the ocean. These are the local guardians of that city, but I've never seen this detailed of notes about anything on any of these. I would be surprised if more than 100 people in the world had this level of information.
Yeah, that's kind of why we were worried about it. And we're being super cautious with who we shared it with.
I suddenly feel like we shouldn't have taken pictures of all these.
No, I mean we have it saved on our.
Well, what happened to the originals?
They're still there.
I think they're
right?
there.
They're still in
we
the
just needed to
library.
sort them. Mr. Fuji had, I think, a box to put them in. I don't know. He just had to sort them, and we never really followed back up on that. And I kind of
Your mom speaks up and she goes, "I'll give the Pokemon Tower a call and see if that tomb can get resealed for now at the very least."
And how short of a time have they gone after what legendaries? Your dad has Cresselia. They have Articuno.
Whoa! There's like there's a whole like reaction from Sarah and all that.
Oh,
but
sorry.
keep
I
thought that was explained.
Recap.
Yeah, but like it's the thing of it's the kind of like you've explained this to these people before, so you can do like quick language of like, yeah, and then he was there, da 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 da. And it's one of those things. It's like when there's so much other information going on, you might not catch it at the moment. Yeah.
Mm.
turn around and go, keep up.
So
We've been talking this whole time.
I give him my whole tragic backstory.
Cut to the ending explaining it, and then Gavin's like, and that's how I lost my first pair of limited edition sneakers. Now, about my dad and his Pokemon.
okay, but so we have Armand has Cresselia. Somebody has Articuno. Do we know who that is?
Nope. No idea. It's
somebody
whoever
has
Graham was working
Articuno.
for.
Fucking hell.
They couldn't get Zapdos because us, and then they couldn't get Regice because of y'all.
Good job
Yeah.
on that.
So I turn and I look at Alicia and I look at Seth's sister and I'm like, and the rest of everybody, I'm like, does anybody have any idea what the hell they're trying to do?
I think that's pretty straightforward. Like Alicia like speaks up. She's like, "It looks like they're gathering legendaries to do something, probably an attack of some kind somewhere. Why else would you rein in a force of nature?"
On what though? Like on who? Like what kind of attack would need this much power?
Maybe more of it's like a controlling tactic, or
I mean,
something.
it's been said that the champion with 2 or 3 of his team members could fight a legend.
But that's a legend, right?
They're doing all of this for Red?
I mean, in order to take over a region, you would need to defeat its guardian first, and Red is one of the arguably top 3 or 4 strongest champions in the world.
And then also, if they want to hold power, they need to be able to defend from anyone else that wants to come and stop them.
It's
So-
the there's always a bigger fish mentality.
Did you say that there were people in the league that you were maybe suspicious of that?
Not specific ones. It's more like it would not make sense for there to not be people who weren't dirty, sort of thing.
Okay.
It's like the logic dictates there are probably dirty people in the administrative side of things based off of how things have gone thus far.
And do we think that Dad might know who some of, or might have like inklings?
Your father has always been someone who keeps more to himself when it comes to those styles of conversation. I would be more likely to be able to spot someone on that level. I would say that neither of us have any strong suspicions towards anyone at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gavin,
Did
did your
I-
dad have any rockets with him?
I was about to ask the DM or the professor. Did I get any impression of who my dad was working with during that?
I would say you can go ahead and you can roll me a technology check right now to see if there's any information.
We also shared the information regarding there being a cellar in Celadon, or that's like where the rocket stuff.
That the
was,
rockets
right?
are going to
Okay.
be. Yeah.
The blue rockets specifically.
Blue rockets.
Yeah, the
Rocket
Blue Rocket
specifically.
leaders. Yeah.
Yep.
12.
12. With 12 is pretty good. You'd be able to track down maybe who the woman that you didn't see was, but the old man, given the name that you heard and where you're from, and the research you do, you would know that was an old, like, galactic scientist who, after Galactic got debunked, went to prison for a long time, then got out of prison after, like, 10 to 15 years, and hasn't really been seen since. His name is Charon.
My guess is that, so as far as I'm aware, when my dad got Chrysilla, it was huge news in Sinnoh. The story was that he caught it fair and square, that he convinced it to join his team. He took it on the competitive circuit. He used it to make himself famous and to win battles. He didn't have any, like, great machinations beyond that I'm aware of. When he got found out that he had forced it onto his team and that was illegal, and he basically had to go on the run, anyone's guess. If I had to guess, I don't think the people he was working with were necessarily rockets. He might be acting as a kind of free agent in all this, and he's thinking if he can get those legendaries that the rockets aren't going after, then he can sell them to the highest bidder. That's one theory.
Interesting.
The red ball you found.
Yeah, speaking of
Do you
selling
have pictures
things.
of it?
Yeah, actually. And Corinne's going to pull up the pictures and the schematics on her phone, and then is also going to remember. Also, Perry said that somebody came into town selling the schematics of this.
Does that bear a resemblance to the ball
That is
or the thing you used?
identical to the malicious ball that you've spotted holding Chrysilla.
My dad used that to catch Chrysilla.
Did he happen
Did
to
the
mention,
schematics-
like, when he was using it or trying to do those things, like if a Pokemon ate it, what it would do to it?
He
passing.
never spoke. Once the nature of the malicious ball was discovered, he vanished out of my life. So never really had a conversation with him after that.
Gotcha. Hard to do follow-ups. Understood.
Between all the information we know, could we surmise that he was the person that came into town selling
Oh,
the schematics?
that is the logic. That is the line of
Okay.
logic. Yeah. They're like, upon Gavin seeing the ball, there is no it would have to be such a great leap of logic for it to not be him. Especially when you think back to the information of, like, someone came into town. Armand, having been on the run for some time, sort of thing, is like, oh, so he's not from here. The idea that it's like, somebody who's connected with villainy in some way. Okay, well, he's working with a former member of a different villainous group of some way. That seems to be the line of logic.
So Armand Kingsley flees Sinnoh, comes to Kanto, starts selling schematics of his bad ball to our villain organizations, who all are competing for it. They're not working together, if what we take Perry said as truth.
I mean, my
That's
dad's been
interesting.
on the run for like 10 years. As far as I'm aware, he's only recently come to Kanto. I mean, he might have been here at some point in those 10 years, but...
You'll remember your sister said that the rumors that had been circulating was that he'd been in Unova for some time.
Yeah. So, what he's been up to in the last 10 years is anyone's guess. But that Charon, I believe, is ex-galactic.
Would you think that he probably helped him develop this ball?
Oh, absolutely. I'm pretty certain I remember them finding out that the malicious ball was developed by Galactic.
And one of the other things is your dad does not have a background in research or development of any. He is a supreme genius and talent when it comes to battling, but he's not like a learned man in terms of higher education.
he knows how to bully people.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that
Street smart.
he's an in all this. I have to guess he's just being an opportunist.
You see at this point, Alicia Wake like stands up and she walks over to the kitchen and just starts like boiling a kettle because it's like, all right, this has been a long conversation. Is there any other major world-ending secrets that we have not shared with each other at this point?
Not that I can think of.
No, but I mean, if we will let you know if any come up.
Well, I hope you don't learn any more.
We'll try not to.
I think
I'm definitely not looking for one.
hearing all of this, I think that the best course of action is I will spend tonight updating your father. And she like looks at Seth and she looks at the others. And she goes, and then when he's home, by the time you get back from Bill's house, we will decide the next course of action for if you four are to be involved in any sort of conversations with that going forward. Or in what capacity you might be.
That's very wise and fair, Mrs. Wake. I would reckon that trouble seems to find us, and we don't necessarily go looking for it. So when you're considering how much to keep us involved, I'd just ask that you request maybe enough information to keep us safe should we accidentally get involved again.
I would agree, and I'll see about maybe sending one or two of the gym Pokemon with you just in case.
Coryne gets a gleam in her eye as she starts thinking about that Blastoise and that artillery.
Not without supervision, and Seth, we're going to need to talk about maybe which Pokemon might be okay for that. But I think for now, we update your father. You see that that's exactly who she was referring to, of like, she doesn't know that you have the gumption to be able to deal with Cranberry yet. But at this point in time, she seems like she's just kind of tired, and you see she like reaches under the counter and pulls out like a big like see-through Tupperware of like, you know, something. She starts putting it in glasses. You realize she's making like just like powdered hot cocoa for everybody because she's like, this is a lot.
That's
and she
so
starts
nice.
like handing them out. It's the one with like the mini marshmallows are already in the mix, so they like.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So they're
Yeah.
squishy. I'm Len.
Ms. Wake,
Yes.
I totally understand everything with the rockets and stuff. It's not inherently our business, but the stuff with my dad is personal.
That is personal, and unfortunately, you seem to have made this your business. That's one of the reasons why we're having this conversation at all. At this point, you have put enough of a target on your back doing all of these things that I cannot see you significantly increasing the regular danger that you deal with on a day-to-day basis for most of your actions. And that is awful. But getting past that, the next step is, what do we do about that? And you see your mom, Seth, has always been one of those people who's like, there is a problem. What is the next step to solving it? She's not going to sit here and just like bemoan the fact that there is a problem. That's never been who she is.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like genuinely trying to look at you guys as like, okay, semi-adults, like you are in danger. You are going to continue to travel. What is the next step towards that thing? Which is a big step for her. First of all, that is a big movement for her.
Love to see it.
Third active in Kanto.
Did you guys have any other conversations that you wanted to have tonight, or was that near the end?
I think I do want to chat with my sister some more and just kind of catch up with her, and also just check out Sale even while he's sleeping.
Okay.
Just to see how he's been doing.
You look down, and of course his diet is still just as good as when you had him, right? Because, you know, this is the OG. These people making his food is the people you learned from. His feathers are quite a bit more ruffled, and it's probably from exactly what's happening now, where there's a small child gripping at odd angles this bird, so the feathers are like all bent all kinds of different ways, but both are snoring in synchronous.
It makes him more aerodynamic.
When I tell you that maxed out 12 friendship immediately, like, it's, yeah, you know. But they seem to be doing good, and with your sister, the conversation like very quickly leads to like, you have to rein it in several times of like I don't care what's going on with me. This is crazy what's been going on with you sort of conversation. If your sister like wants to talk about like, oh, what did Zapdos look like? What did this? Where you saw Articuno in person? What does this look like? You know, because I also saw
imprinted on
Articuno
my
in person
eyes,
for a
so
second.
you can just look there and you'll probably get a glimpse of it.
Yeah, it's sort of like occasionally like goes to Gavin. It's like, Gavin, you said you found this temple of some kind. I've not been asked to talk about this yet because one of the things that quickly becomes clear to the rest of you, if you don't recall, is that Sara is a researcher who specifically focuses on ancient Pokemon and ancient societies and ancient civilizations. It's one of those things where there's a reason that she was able to supply Seth with the fossil for Anchor. You know, it's that whole conversation.
That's so cool.
And it takes quite a bit of like prodding to get her to be like, well, I've just been helping. I've basically just been, my research has been on pause and just been here working on the ranch and everything because with the weather, with dad always being gone, with, you know, mom always being busy, somebody has to take care of the Pokemon. And her grant isn't due to renew for another couple months anyway.
I would specifically make sure Sara knows where the temple is and how to get in of the weird code you have to put in.
Birdie, there is a piece of information that Anton took that I'm going to remind you that you have because it is relatively important to keeping the plot going further. There was a photo of a map on a wall that you guys took. I don't know if you recall this map.
With the other temple locations on it.
Yes, there are 2 other temples that you are aware of.
My sister's going after them, but that's where they are as well. These will most likely have active legendaries in them, so maybe don't launch any research expeditions into them yet.
Yeah.
Real quickly,
yes.
can we, based on what we read because there's a book about the golems.
Yep.
Can we surmise what's in the other 2 temples with that map in our book?
I would say so. Birdie, I will give you 300 experience to a Pokemon Curious right now if you can whip out where the other 2 temples are.
No, I can't.
No.
What about me?
You don't even have it right now. You don't even have it in your notes.
What about me?
No.
What about me? What about me?
Matt, I know you take really good notes, so I'll give you the same option. Where are the other 2 temples, Matt?
Hold on.
Where are the other 2 temples, Matt?
Don't focus on me. Focus on Birdie. He fell into a trap or something, right? The whole room flooded.
I don't know how many times I have to stress this. You can have one of 2 things. I can either take notes or I can pay attention to the game. We've been playing D&D and other TTRPGs for 4 years.
Oh, wait,
5 years.
Almost 5. Yeah, we're on 5 years. Also, I'll give you a hint right now. It's 2 mountains. Both of them are in mountains.
I don't remember the mountains. The names of the mountains in Kanto.
I know.
I got it.
Moltres is in the Silver Mountains, right?
One we almost went to, but then we didn't because there are giant Pokemon there and we would have died. That is Mount Hideaway, right next to Pallet. The other is kind of next to Pallet, but more next to Viridian City, which is Mount Silver.
Yep.
And then Fennel Valley.
Oh.
So
I rest my case.
it seems like the Silver Mountains might contain multiple legendary Pokemon.
You said 1,000 experience?
I said 300.
All right, just checking.
So we know Moltres is in the Silver Mountains. One of the other Reggies is there too.
The Golem of Steel is the one that would be present in the Silver Mountains.
Isn't Moltres like... That's not a secret though, because Moltres comes out for the...
Yeah, that is the ancestral home of Moltres, because that's where they hold the Indigo Plateau, and Moltres lights the...
Didn't I spot Moltres on my way into Kanto?
I don't know what happened. I don't think you saw anything at all. I don't think anything happened whatsoever, and we'll talk about it later.
Huh?
I saw Moltres on my way into Kanto.
That may or may not have been recorded. All right. Did anyone else have anything they wanted to accomplish before we move to the night and do villain rolls for the evening? First villain rolls of the arc.
Yeah, just before we all go to bed, I feel like Coryne is going to take a sec just to kind of check on Gavin. Like, check on the mental, because Coryne has a bead on where everybody else is at, and after hearing everything that happened to Gavin, I feel like Corinne's going to walk over with her mug of cocoa and is just going to like sit down and be like, so, your dad's pretty fucked up.
Just for context, I've just rolled an intelligence die to like see where Gavin's headspace is at right now. It exploded, so it was a 32 before I added anything.
Oh, you're doing just fine.
So, honestly,
You
yeah,
have had
Gavin,
like 2.5 weeks to absorb this at this point.
Yeah, I was like, Yeah, my head's a piece of shit.
And
Just all
you're
around
okay.
a bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm doing okay about it. I was doing worse when I learned that he was in Kanto, and I didn't know, and I had nothing I could do about it.
Mm.
Now I've actively foiled one of his fucking schemes. Ava nearly pinned his ass to the wall.
Oh, that's our girl.
In the distance, you hear a squawking. Just in the ambient distance.
Ava just got a kill. And I've got actionable things that I can do going forward, so I'm doing a lot better with all that in mind.
Okay, good. What are the actionable things?
Well, unfortunately, most of it is just waiting for my fucking sister to tell me when I can come back into the game. But other than that, like, we know where the Reggies are, and we have a he's leaving a trail. Like, he sold those blueprints, and you guys caught onto that. So I know the direction he headed in. And we've got a clearer idea of what his role is in all of this, which is he's just some guy being a dick.
That's actually what I wrote in my notes. Is just the plot is just some guy being a dick.
Which, I don't know why I'm surprised. I don't know why I thought he'd have this big and nefarious role in all of this, but no, he's just an asshole. Like he's always been.
So, is this one of those things where you are, like, this is a goal? Like, we're not leaving this to higher authorities? Or, I say we. You.
Well, I mean, my sister is working with the Rangers, so there's authorities involved, but they're going to keep me involved going forward.
Because you want to be.
Because I want to be, yes.
Okay.
I want to see this through. I don't want to just read in the newspaper that they caught him and he's behind bars.
Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what I was asking.
That depends on how tonight's rolls go.
Don't say that, God!
Shut your face right now.
I don't want the league to beat their D4 because I want us to beat those villain organizations.
If we can help it, and if you want us to, this is, I guess I'm telling you that I would like to go with you next time. If you would have us.
I mean, there was nothing. I didn't want to, like, exclude you this time, necessarily.
It was an emergency and you had to go. And it was like an emergency plan.
It turned into a bigger thing than I thought. I thought I was going to be right back, like I said. And
we thought so too, and you heard what happened to us. Yeah, I don't know. Just as things keep going, I get worried for my friends, and so if I don't even like not knowing where Vermilion's at right now. So
yeah.
if I could go with them, I would like to go with them. So that's just me offering the hey, if you want me to go kick some ass with you, and Coryne flexes. I will kick that ass,
I would feel safer with you
bro.
there. The two rangers that I was with on that little adventure, they were great, but they weren't my team. They weren't my guys.
I mean,
Yeah. Where are
sounds
your
like one of those guys is
guys?
pretty-
And Coryne like punches him on the shoulder and is like, that's
Ow.
so sick.
Not a
Sorry,
minor
sorry. Oh
wound.
my gosh.
You're at 4 now.
Sorry. Anyway, yeah. Oh, do you have pictures of them?
Sure. Yeah. Why wouldn't I?
Oh, they look so cool.
I think I've got like
Okay.
one picture. Gavin's not a big picture person.
Just one for the socials, maybe, and it's like from behind.
Well,
as them
that
walking.
one's not for the socials because like this is like covert operations. Can't.
Oh, right.
Covert
Makes
operations,
sense,
the
makes
picture.
Yeah.
No, I think we got a team selfie before everyone split.
I would agree, considering you spent fucking 2 weeks quarantined together.
There's a few videos of like just
Shitty board
slice
games.
of life stuff.
What was the quarantine for?
Like we got exposed to a legendary or something. I don't know. They made us stay there for 2 weeks.
Generally speaking, there's a full rundown when someone runs into a Pokemon of that high of strength. Alicia staring daggers into the back of Seth's skull.
You guys didn't have to do that?
What?
No. Maybe we
No.
didn't. How long ago? How many? It's
The
been like 2
only
days.
reason that we have not is because we're trying to keep this report relatively hush-hush. You're still going to the
Heard.
hospital at some point.
I see.
What? I don't have Poke Rust.
I like to imagine every time Seth goes anywhere near someone, a static shock.
Just constantly.
Okay.
Okay.
It's weird. I
well,
haven't had to charge my phone in like a couple of days.
That's all. I just wanted to check on you, see how you were doing.
How are you doing? I'm extremely jealous you got to see Articuno and Zapdos.
I mean, I wouldn't be jealous that we saw them, but don't be jealous about the capacity in which we
Jealous.
saw them, because that really was not a fun time.
No surprises.
I mean, yeah, but also, like, anyone you walk away from?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. The Perry thing had me kind of fucked up, and the Graham thing had me kind of fucked up, and I'm still in the middle of processing a lot of that. I mean, you know, Graham.
I think from now on, anyone whose name, I mean, Graham is an exception, but anyone whose name, if could vaguely correspond to a color, keep a wide berth.
Well, that's not exactly wise, I think, because we have a really good friend named Tanner, and
Well, that's- I
Corinne
guess it's
side
kind
eyes
of a
DJ across the room. We have a really
Guys.
good friend named
color. We got
Tanner.
Vermilion.
Yeah.
But, like, Vermilion, but also Vermilion Construction Co. building a giant
I think
laser.
Okay,
I think-
so the track record isn't great.
Yeah.
I think we'll know if it seems like anyone that we've recently added to our group at any point has one of us, I don't know, surrounded all of a sudden. That's a pretty big flag to know if they're going to be helpful or
Well, I'd
harmful.
like to catch it
Not
before
sure
that.
yet.
Yeah.
Tanner with the beige rockets. It's crazy.
The beige rockets, they're like, hey, how you doing?
That's the unknown faction.
It's a fun fact. Taub is the leader of the beige rockets.
They're very ineffective because he can't be near any Pokemon.
But speaking of that, Mom, if you were surrounded by, I don't know, a team of Pokemon, what would be the most effective way to not be anymore? Would it be like tuck and roll?
Teleport.
Or like,
Flashbang.
okay, well, all right, thanks. I'll work on that.
Did you not have any of your Pokemon on you at the time?
No, they were returned because I didn't want them to get hurt.
See, first of all, I appreciate that sentiment. Given what you have all done at this point, I would say that you should each have one Pokemon out at all points in time.
I think Ava might be a bit big for this room.
I ain't got to worry about that. And I pointed to Basca.
Fucking tiny little bats. Yeah.
Oh no, he's not gonna be able to sit on my shoulder anymore.
But you can still give him
he's-
piggyback
yeah.
rides, though.
I was gonna
Oh,
say,
that's
if
true.
you're toddler
Shoulder rides,
size, you can
yeah.
do piggyback rides.
He'd probably be
you
up on my
guys-
shoulders.
You guys should see. Horsey evolved!
Yeah. No. Actually, one of the really nice things about
Seadra can
being
walk now.
a
Well, he
Seadra
can
now
slide around.
is that Seadra's like longer curled tail as a seahorse now acts almost more like a snake body in that you can like wiggle around and has a
That's
walking speed
badass.
now.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
And you see the ridges have like fully extended backwards, like big white
Oh,
spikes coming off,
badass.
and the trumpet looks like far more defined. You're
You're so cute.
That's badass, Bugle.
yeah, you guys. There's a brand new Seadra. I don't think you've caught any other new Pokemon since you left the group, though, right, Birdie?
No.
Okay, cool. And they've
No one else
also
has evolved either.
told you guys the stories of how they got each of their Pokemon as part of the whole thing. And we know where the Poplio and the Chimchar came from. We know where they came from. There was a whole scene. In fact, it was heavily implied and then spoken about later. It's crazy.
If you want, go back to that episode where it happened and say, this is where they're from.
Watched it now. Get off my case.
Okay. Who wants to roll me some dice? All right, DJ, give me a D20 roll.
Okay.
You're going to roll for the Crimson Rockets.
14.
Damn it. All right, they're going to stay a D20. Okay. Fair. Kenna.
What do you want?
Dates were
A D10?
Mhm.
A D10, a D10, a D10. A 6.
Damn it. Okay.
Stop.
Okay. Matt, give me a D4.
3.
3.
I know, I tried.
Birdie, give me a D6.
3. Sorry.
I can never remember if we
No
want
one
big
wants me
number
to
or little
advance more than
number.
me.
We want
Yeah.
the big number for the good guys, little number for bad guys.
Okay.
We want big number for both. We want things to happen.
Kenna, give me D12.
D12, D12,
Yep.
D12, D12.
Shot.
Ooh, that scared me. 10.
DJ, D4.
It is a 4.
Let's go!
Cannon engaged.
But who for? Who for? Was
was
that
it?
for the league?
Vermilion Construction Co. has completed their goal. Let's go reset to D12.
Let's go!
Let's see here. I will add the note. Completed goal. Oh, that's
is
not.
dead.
What's funny is that's not one of the goals that's going to be on the news. You guys have no idea what that happened there.
Zap just got glocked out of the sky.
Let's see here. All right. I also have to leave a note here.
Sorry.
Does it have to do with the Omni Stone?
You don't know what's going on with Vermilion Construction Co. Anyway, Birdie, give me one more
The
D4.
fossils.
Oh wait, what?
Oh, there's 7, Matt. There's what?
Oh, you're right, you're right.
Yeah, and you got a 1. Oh, the league
Uno.
doesn't get close to.
Go back.
Don't they go back to a D6?
Yeah, they go back to a D6. Yeah,
Little
so
six.
that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Why would you do
Um,
that?
It's
Okay.
our job to beat the bad guys, not the league.
No, because they'd beat your dad and then send you a letter that says you assisted in doing this, and then you get like a little sticker.
Then you get like
Or
a
I
get
helped.
money.
It's
Okay.
beat the
Now
bad
we have
guy.
done we are potentially going to be doing more villain roles within this episode, given that we're going to be traveling a little bit during this episode as we begin. So the next morning, everybody gets up. Breakfast is made. Seth, what does your mom make for breakfast?
Wobble.
Waffles. All right,
Waffles.
waffles are made.
Wobble.
I feel like the waffles are made. Sarah gets up. I will say this is the first time you get to see your nibbling in full awakenedness as the child gets up the next morning. Waits for a second. Lands. Sail. And then the totem pole combo of the two children come down for breakfast. And Seth, you are hit by a feathery rocket as the two of them
I feel like
into
they
the
jump
side
down
of you.
the stairs, and it's like the Legend of Zelda thing where they glide a little bit. With the...
I mean, that's how you rode Spur all the way to Pallet Town.
It's very helpful.
That's true. Yeah. You are hit by a hug. You all eat breakfast. And you walk the slow walk back to Cerulean City. As you do so, I'm gonna need. You know what? Birdie got to roll the extra one. Matt didn't get to roll the extra dice. Matt, you're gonna give me the D12 roll.
That is a 9.
Oh, this lovely morning, it is beautiful and warm. None of the crazy ass storms that are going on are currently happening.
Zapdos has been killed.
Yes, Zapdos got murdered by a gun last night. No, in the distance, you can definitely still see the awful storms. It's just right now, it seems to be pretty okay. One of the things, Gavin, that we were going into in the earlier episodes is that the weather changes on a dime every 20 to 30 minutes.
Sweet.
It sucks. It can go from really hot to really cold, from really dry to really wet real quick.
Love it.
You guys head all the way up, making your way back to Miracle Cycle. And as you get there, you find one very sleepy little man in the form of, currently it's just Spoke manning the counter, as you do not see Edgar anywhere.
Do we just get to pick the bikes? I'm looking at Spoke talking, or do you have some set aside for us?
you see that Spoke kind of turns and just jumps down behind the counter, and instead of hearing like Tayo, you hear grunk, and your Edgar go, "What's up?"
You were sleeping?
No one buys anything anyway. I locked the register and I've got the key right here.
That's fair.
Next to the register?
He's had like 4
In my
hours. sleep,
hands.
guys.
That you're
In my
asleep?
hands.
You're asleep.
Yeah.
Isn't not my business. Anyway.
That's why Spoke was keeping an eye out. I mean, look, there's 40 people in here. Not a single one have tried to do anything.
That is true. Okay, where are the bikes?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and pick anyone. I did pull out a scooter from storage this morning. Did you have a specific color? Because I can use our programmer to program that here.
I look at Tabasco. What you think? Like a orange?
There's like
flame orange?
there's like the wide eye, like kind of like I don't want to over interact with this moment, but that sounds dope as fuck kind of look is what you're getting right now.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, if you guys can pick a color if you have like a custom shade that you want. We can, because it's all digital projection on the color for what color the bike is. So like, if you want like,
I want purple.
okay, well, what kind? The whole light spectrum splits everything into sevenths, and you got purple's a big wide spectrum. What kind of purple are you looking for? Because you got 3 shades of purple in your outfit right now.
Pick one.
Okay.
Master Ball purple.
It's more like basic potion bottle purple is more the color that you get.
Cute, I like it.
Yeah, DJ, you get the like bright orange electric motorized scooter that's there with the little hand grips. You can choose on whether or not to accessorize with a bell. That's up to you guys.
Hell yeah, I want a bell. You crazy? Of course I want a bell.
Absolutely. Coryne, you get your purple bike. Are you going for more of a tricks bike or a fast bike? Are you going acro or mock bike?
Mock, because Lord knows I don't have the agility for acro.
Okay. Seth, Gavin, what about you guys? What kind of bikes are you picking out?
I'm going for a phthalo green.
Phthalo green.
Okay.
The best color in the world.
Yep.
And we're going.
Bob Ross is proud.
We're going for a Mac bike.
Okay. And then what about you, Seth?
I'm gonna do an acro bike, and I'm gonna get Cerulean Gym print.
I like to think that's like. I like to think the print isn't even there, but you just like pull out a decal out of nowhere and you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's actually kind of sick.
All right, and then here are the 2 bikes that got actually ordered. So who's Seth, you want to carry one? Does anyone want to carry the other one?
I'll take it.
Okay, there you go. And it is also a purple bike, different shade, and then the other one is like a cherry red is the other bike that you're getting. And you guys stow those, and Edgar goes, "All right, see you when I see you."
Okay.
Okay.
Wait.
You hear from the corner. Oh yeah, who accessorized with the bell, by the way?
I'll take a bell.
Did
Actually,
anyone-
I want a little horn.
You want a horn? Okay. Did anyone accessorize with the handlebar streamers?
No.
Okay. And then who got the graphite sparking brake pads as well?
Oh, great.
Every option. It's that thing of they gave me a coupon and you're going to
It's
check
free.
out and it lets you get as much add-ons as you want. You're like,
It's free.
All
All I'm saying is I'm the only one riding in style.
Get it all.
Scooter. Yeah, it is interesting because for all the rest of you hear the click of like the of bikes, and then for DJs in the little scooter.
I'm working smarter, not harder, baby.
have-
I don't have that agility.
Have you got like just a playing card that I can just?
You pull
Put
out
your trainer
like
card.
an old you pull your trainer card. Have you never put a playing card in the spokes of a bike before, Torie?
It's to make it sound like a motorbike.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can
So
run over a
that's-
can too if you want.
I remember
cans
being
do
in
better.
middle school. Yeah.
I will get a bell because a bell is a safety feature.
It is a safety feature. Torie, I do love that every time you hit a hill, you
Not
get the thing where
because
it's
we
like,
love
like it's like working just a little bit harder when you get to a hill.
Oh, I'm gonna have to upgrade this motor. Maybe my dad can help me with that.
Okay. Your bikes, while not super usable in the very, very crowded streets of Cerulean, as you're like going under archways and going through columns and around those like paved streets and everything. As you guys take the like almost an hour it takes to get out of town itself, it's like mid-morning at this time, probably like 9:45, closer to 10. You guys head out onto the road and eventually you find yourselves north of town facing Route 24. Seth, obviously you're very familiar with this area. But the two of you who are Coryne, because you are kind of a battle nut every once in a while, and then Gavin, because you are actually an ace trainer, you guys would be very... Oh, actually, all of you would know about this because DJ's already been through here. So DJ would also know about this. You are all aware that when you get off the path and you see like the grassy sort of road in front of you, and there's these trees and beautiful hills, and the river sort of sweeps out from the west heading towards the east, and you see the massive fucking crowd of people standing on the bridge in front of you. You're all very well aware that this is a local Cerulean tradition where If you would like to choose so, you can. Otherwise, you can just cross the bridge on the pedestrian path. But if you don't want to cross the bridge in this way, there's a thing referred to as the Nugget Challenge that exists here on this bridge. Where this is the Nugget Bridge, where basically you would need to battle, and we would do this using quick battles. We would not do full battles for these. You would need to battle successfully in a gauntlet 5 separate trainers, and if you do so, at the very end, you would receive a golden nugget. The cost to entry is 500 Poke.
Take my money.
I mean, if Gavin's going, Coryne's going.
All right.
I kind of look at Seth. What do you think, partner?
I mean, in terms of efficiency of this delivery, I would say not to, but we're already 2 people deep. So if you want to do it,
two
I can
people
do it.
deep.
Well, we've got Mac bikes. We'll catch up.
That's not how that works.
Let's see
I think
here.
that's exactly how it works.
We just had a whole night conversation of how we want to stick together and be friends and go through things.
Not be in danger. Hey, we'll catch up, guys. We'll see you later.
Yeah, did you say you'd be right back a few weeks ago?
There's only like 4 terrorist groups that are after you guys. Okay, everybody who's interested, go ahead and pick one of your Pokemon because we're gonna auto battle just very quickly. Basically, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna be rolling d20s, and whether or not you succeed, you tie, or you fail is gonna be up to your d20 roll. Because this is gonna be just the quicker version rather than the actual like auto battling rules because you have to do 5 of these each. So what we're gonna be tracking is pick one of your Pokemon. Everybody got a Pokemon in mind?
Yes.
Okay, so everybody, you have d20s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
We're gonna roll the first round of battles for each of you. So everybody, please roll your d20 and let me know what you get.
19.
16.
16. Okay.
10.
10.
Ooh,
Okay.
Also a 19.
19. Okay.
Sick.
So 3 of you, overwhelming successes. Seth, you succeed, but barely on this first battle. So all 4 of you are fine at the moment. As we get through, whether or not you can, once you pass the 3rd one, we're going to stop allowing neutrals to allow you to succeed. So, second roll. Everybody roll me d20.
13.
12.
12.
13, 12. Okay. Seth, you are out. You're going to go ahead and lose 500 Poke. Everybody else, you are going to succeed for your next one, but now it is significantly more difficult.
Ugh.
So, go ahead and roll your d20s one more time.
20!
Cool. It doesn't give you any additional bonus.
But it's a big number.
Wait, what did you say, Coryne?
I got a 3.
3. Okay, Coryne is going to be out. DJ, what about you?
19.
19. Okay, so DJ and Gavin are both still in. Another d20 roll, please.
That's another 20!
Okay. What'd you get?
8.
Okay, DJ is out on the 4th battle. I believe this is the last one. Gavin, go ahead
This is
and
when
roll
my
d20.
luck runs out.
This is the most difficult one.
This is a tough challenge.
Yeah, it's very tough.
14.
What'd you say?
14.
14 is not going to be enough, so you're going to be out on your final battles. All of you are out 500 Poke. However,
Damn.
Seth, because you're the first one out, I'm going to have you describe what Pokemon you were battling, what Pokemon you were using, and how you lost that battle real quick.
So I think it was the first battle that I went up against was going to be someone who had like an Abra. And I was going to bring out like Richter or Bowie to get that, and then I just hear ruffling around in my bag, Pichu. I'm like, all right, man, go
What's
for
up,
it.
Fender?
And so he does it, and then obviously the Abra doesn't have a lot of aggressive moves, so he just tackles him a couple of times or hits him and then knocks it out. It's like, okay, cool, and he gets all cocky, and the next round goes, and it's a Machoke, and he's like, Pichu, Pichu, and then just walks away, and I'm like,
Just
bro,
looking out. All right.
you picked this battle.
Coryne, you were the next one out. Go ahead and give me, who were you battling, what Pokemon did you use, and how did you lose?
Oh, okay. I feel like honestly, I probably would have had out Beatrix for this.
Fuck yeah, let's go. Love
And
Beatrix.
as I have out Beatrix, I would just like to specify, as I'm battling, I do have Dragonair's Pokeball in my hand, and I'm just narrating the battle in like the most fun tone of like, this is a great time, nothing bad is happening, but we are fighting, and it's just like, it's fun.
Okay.
So narrating the battle is that. because Coryne is doing that, Coryne isn't necessarily super paying attention to how Beatrix is doing this battle. And at first, Beatrix is whooping ass. She's like doing some pirouettes in the air, slicing into this little, I'm going to say a Jigglypuff. She slices into a Jigglypuff with her, little drill hands. And then I don't know. I feel like we come up against an electric type, and the electric types just whoop us every time. And she just gets shocked out of the sky, and she loses. And Coryne is like, "Whoa!"
DJ, who are you battling with? Who did you battle against, and how did you lose?
I think I'm battling with Poblano the Poplio because he needs a little more experience. This was just kind of like a fun thing we were doing. So, DJ lets him out. The first battle is against, like, a stereotypical grass type, like maybe a little Badoo or a Roselia or something. And he just, like, Aqua Jet, done. Easy peasy. And then moves on to the next and the next. And, he's doing good. He's using amnesia. He's using some sort, like, he's starting to use all of his different moves and starting to really learn them. And then we get into battle number 4. It's like literally a Torterra.
It's like a big like actual Pokemon.
Yeah. And poor little Poblano, who is a pygmy Pokemon, looks up and just goes, "What?" Oh. And tries to spit his little Aqua Jet. And I think the Torterra just opens its mouth like it's a fucking water fountain and is like, thanks for the hydration. Boom!
Ooh.
All right.
And
fuck
DJ,
yeah.
DJ just goes, "It's all right, buddy. Here, I made you something the other day." And she pulls out like a little flower crown to make him feel better and puts it on his little head. And it's like, it's okay.
That's fantastic. Gavin, what about you? Who are you battling with? Who are you battling against? And how did you lose?
Team Bonk, baby.
Let's go.
Bonk!
Team Bonk come out. This is like one of the first times I've actually battled with them, if not the first time.
This is literally the first time we've seen them do anything on stream other than exist.
other than be cheerleaders. This is the first time they've been anything other than rank 0. Rank 1 rather. So they were battling, they were going like some great fucking like teamwork going on to get some crazy combos, like pulling off a few crits with the focus energy and the rock smash. And then we get up against a Hypno.
Nice.
And Team Bonk felt it infighting when they got hit with the confusion.
There was a hypnosis that happened, and instead of making us sleepy, it just made them fight each other. Okay. Well, everyone, the Pokemon that you picked, please give them the number of battles you competed in. So if you made it to 2 battles, if you made it to 5 times 200 amount of experience. Okay. I just thought that would be fun to have something here to represent the Nugget Bridge because it's a huge part of the Kanto games, but I did not want to do an entire arc where we took time of everybody doing every fight.
That's another tournament arc, and we don't need
That's another tournament. I don't want that. Yeah, I was like,
perfect.
I really like the picks that you guys made for your battles. That was fucking sick. Okay. That honestly, given how quick they went, I think you guys did that in like an hour. It's like 10:45, almost 11.
I was
by the
done
time.
in 10 minutes. He didn't do his other time. I was just doing fishing on the side of the bridge while I waited for those.
After Coryne lost, definitely joined you.
Yeah. Okay. You guys finish off there, and honestly, now that you get past the bridge, Route 24 going into Route 25 is sort of this like beautiful series of like wet, long-grassed fields. It's the kind of field like where you walk through if you're wearing jeans and like below the knee is immediately soaked just from the amount of moisture that's in all of the grass and everything. But it is like refreshing and like beautiful, and like there's still bits of like sleet and snow from like whatever happened in the late night. But thus far the weather has not seemed to change. And there are lots of Pokemon around. You do see like little Oddish sort of like everywhere. You see like little Poliwags in the water sort of just flapping from place to place. Like there are lots of Pokemon everywhere. And as there are lots of Pokemon everywhere, we are going to do something we haven't rolled in a long time. We're going to roll route encounters. Yay!
Oh my gosh, we haven't done encounters in a minute.
70 years ago.
Yeah. So, for the morning roll, let's see here. I believe Matt rolled the most recent roll for me. So Kenna, I'm gonna have you roll this roll, and then Torie, you'll be next for the midday roll.
What am I rolling for you? A d20?
Oh, sorry. Yes, to remind you all of the rules. The way that this works is every single time I call for an encounter roll, we're gonna roll a d20. It starts with a base difficulty. The base you're gonna be hitting is 17 or higher. Every time you don't hit that difficulty, it goes down by 1. So if you don't hit it, next time it'll be 16 or higher, and so on and so forth. So every time I call for encounter, you're rolling me a d20 and adding nothing to it.
Excellent.
So Coryne, roll me a d20.
I rolled a 13.
13. So there's no encounter for the morning. So immediately following the tournament or anything, you guys don't necessarily run into anything that you need to fight, anything that you need to run into. DJ, you have my midday roll. Please roll me a d20.
1.
Very cool. You also do not roll an encounter for the midday roll. That means it's going to go down to 15. Birdie, please roll me my evening roll.
3.
3. Okay. So with that, for the first day of travel, because it's a 2-day there, 2-day back, you guys will run into no things. But your encounter table is down to a 14 during the day and 11 during the night.
Ooh.
So we moved into the next day.
We are moving into the night, which means that we're going to do another round of villain rolls, everybody.
Oh, shit.
Go. Okay, Matt, you're going to start us with the villain rolls because you didn't do the encounter rolls. So give me a d20, Matt.
15.
15. Okay, that is not going to be enough to move the Crimson Rockets. Kenna, give me a d10.
30. What?
3. Got you.
30, I'm sorry.
It took me a second.
30.
It took me a hot
She
second. I was like,
exploded.
you used the double
Percentile
digit.
die, yeah.
There you go.
Did.
Okay, that's fine. All right. Hey, Torie, give me a d4.
No! Why do you keep giving me D4s?
Because
Let me
fucking
do the
like half of
D4s.
them were
It's
d4s.
4!
Yes!
Oh,
No shot, really?
That's
no
unnamed
shot,
faction.
really?
That's unnamed faction number 1. That's not good.
It's this little orange one.
Yeah,
No shit,
baby,
really?
That's what I went for. That's what it's all about.
Oh, no.
We'll get to that in a second. I
Do you see
gotta.
it?
Yeah, it'll come up.
So sorry.
Okay.
Stop giving me D4s!
Let the world burn.
Okay, I know
Who
what that goal.
invited Birdie
shit.
back?
Yeah, you guys will find out about that when you get back from Bill's Lighthouse, guys.
What?
Yeah. Okay. Oh shit. Okay. All right,
Oh
Birdie
my
d6.
god. I'm stressed.
3. Okay, nothing's gonna change there. Matt, give me d12.
I don't wanna.
No, I don't wanna.
This is
Fucking everything
this
up.
next faction is the only other positive faction in the league. You better wanna. 3. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see here. That's Kenna is gonna be my next d12. I can't believe we had 2 goal completes in 2 days. That's crazy.
Wild.
A 1.
A 1. Okay,
Who was
Vermilion
that
Construction
for?
Co. is going to go out to a D20. This is really bad for them. Okay.
That big gun just jammed.
They just had their goal complete and then immediately had a setback.
See,
Isn't
here's what they
that
did.
life?
They went up, and going up for them was they added a scope to the cannon because they were just eyeballing it. And then the D20 going back is they realized, oh, now the lens fogs up. This is unfortunate.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So they can't aim
Hey,
it.
Torie, this isn't a D4. It's a D6.
I believe in you.
You got it, Torie.
This one you want to roll
Why?
a 6 on.
I don't even know.
Do I really?
Yeah, you do.
It's the league. The league goes up.
Where is
League
it? Where
goes
the
back
Say the
to a
fuck
number.
is
What's
it?
the
D4.
number?
No, it's a
Is it a
6.
six? Okay,
it's a
good.
6.
It's a 6?
League goes back
It's a
to a
6.
D4.
I can
Okay.
only advance factions.
Nice.
Okay.
Previously, Kenna did this, so it's the mantle's been passed.
No,
Okay.
I don't want it. Take it back.
I don't want
Give it to me. Give it to me.
No, don't do it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Cool. So those are all of our villain rolls for
nervous.
the evening. I definitely didn't just have a stress panic attack. It's great. Ha 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 ha.
Ambulance.
We're doing great. The second day of travel, yay! Well, actually, no, we need to do our night
No, this
encounter
is
roll.
Nighttime
this is-
encounter.
Yeah.
We just got to the other day, so
Torie
yeah.
just did the league, so yeah, the night encounter roll. Gavin, go ahead and give me a D20 roll.
Come on, baby. 4.
4. Okay, so it goes down to a difficulty of 13 during the day, 10 during night.
4.
Okay. Matt, morning encounter roll as we go through the.
Guys, I'm not gonna hit that. It's a third. I have to roll a D20 and try
You
and
got a
hit 13.
50-50 shot.
This is impossible for
Oh,
me.
at night. No, I guess it's 13. Yeah.
A 3.
Okay, it goes down to a 12. The midday, which by the way, at this point you have fully transitioned onto Route 25. At this point, the river is now on your right as you're traveling. You're traveling along the river. There's these beautiful hills, and like north of you, the like tail ends of the Silver Mountains have come all the way across at this point. So you're like up against mountains on one side, a massive river on the other, and it's basically a straight path there.
Dang.
As we get to the midday roll, Kenna, roll me d20.
Okay. 20.
Okay.
Oh.
We
Did
get
I
to
wanna
roll
roll
on
that?
my encounter tables.
Comes
We
down
get to
from
roll
the
on my
sky.
encounter tables. Let's see here. Kenna rolled the encounter. So Torie, roll me 2d6, please. 6. Okay, you rolled on the common table, which means for Route 2025. Birdie, can you give me a D100 roll, please? I'll tell you right now, bigger is not necessarily better.
74.
74. In twisting.
Moltres descends from
No.
Okay.
Common table.
I'm gonna keep saying it until it happens.
Well, first things first, I'm going to describe a couple things about the day as you guys have been traveling. One of the things that you will note as you wake up the next morning and sort of throughout the rest of the day is that the weather has not changed back to bad at the area you're in. You seem to be outside of the radius of it, so you can still see the dark storm clouds in the corner. But like north of Cerulean seems to not really be in the scope of where the where these storms have been happening.
Mhm.
And it's one of those things where I'm gonna say Seth, you glance over your shoulder all the time, and as you look to the skies, as you look to the skies, you can see these storm clouds pretty regularly, and you just keep glancing back at them, and something feels different about them as you look at them, and you realize that and it's probably 2 or 3 in the evening by the time you recognize what it is, but it bothers you for several hours. You're not sure what it is, but you can't articulate what it is, and it's because when you were in them, you felt at ease and comfortable, and there was almost a magnetic draw to them at that point, and that draw is no longer present.
When we were
When you were in the storm clouds, you felt a draw, and you even kind of felt it leaving them, but now for some reason you just don't feel that draw towards those storm clouds anymore. It's just a weird feeling in the back of your skull.
I know what I
I feel like it left.
I don't know. But on a slightly different note,
What did you do?
as you
know what
guys
I
are traveling
did.
in these beautiful sunny days happening, you guys are on the trail, and there's a moment where who has the highest int die here?
Me and
Me.
Birdie.
Those
Both of you got d20s?
Yeah.
All right, roll off for me. Add your badges.
I think that can hit its
Oh,
target.
I crit.
Okay, there you go. Torie got it. DJ, as you are the one on the scooter, you're doing everybody else is getting a little winded because they have to pedal. They're doing whereas you're "Near," so you're you're doing your little thing.
My ribbons are floating in the wind.
You're feeling yourself, sort of thing, and you every once in a while you give a fling fling on
I
your
have
bell.
little whip marks on my wrist from where the plastic ribbons are
Ooh.
And as you get a little bit ahead of the group at this point, still very much part of it, but you're sort of front running at the moment. You get a chill down your back, and there's a moment it's oh, that's a fear response. I just had a fear response. Why did I have a fear response? And you do the thing where you look around and you're on the trail and you see one of the bushes near you move ahead of you on the trail, and on the other side another bush sort of moves, and you see some sort of form in those bushes. How are you handling this?
I pump the brakes with my spark plug. The graphite sparks against the road.
It's like a deterrent.
Yeah.
And then DJ just kind of stops, releases Tabasco. Well, actually, let me retcon that. Tabasco would have been riding in front of DJ.
On the holding onto the pole.
He's
sort
holding
of
the pole. She's holding the handlebars over his head. So the top of his head is between her elbows.
We did that with the younger cousins as kids. I remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah, they would hold
That's
on
so
to the.
cute.
Yeah. And she's gonna stop, and she's gonna put her hand up and tell everyone else to stop, like she's
Like
an
Rambo.
agent or something. Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna try and take a closer look in the bushes.
Okay, so as you guys all see DJ do this, and DJ starts to like, do you get forward, or is it like from a distance closer? Like are you physically taking a closer look?
I'll take like a step or two forward and like kind of
Okay.
try and look, but I'm not leaving Tabasco too far behind.
Okay, roll me a tracking check, please.
Oh, 15, 19.
19 is really good. As you are there, and the other three, I don't know if you guys are stopping or not at any point. This the other three who are there. Like, are you following
yeah.
DJ's lead, or are you stepping forward? Are you doing anything at this point?
I will stay in place on my acro bike to where I pop a wheelie and then do the little
In place.
That's pretty sick.
Show off.
These wild Pokemon are so dazzled by your sick moves.
Corinne is gonna
I mean,
stop.
I'm just doing
and
donuts
is-
as quickly as I can.
Corinne's gonna stop and is gonna pop out Myrtle and is just gonna be like, "Protect mode, babe. Just be aware. Don't know what's going on."
What? Like, she's like, she's ready to
Yeah.
Ava was probably already out, just flying on. So I think Gavin is taking Ms. Wake's advice to heart of always have one Pokemon out.
go. Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
So Ava's just been following us overhead.
Uh-huh. Speaking of which, Seth, I forget. Did you say if you had a Pokemon out?
Since I know Pichu is not feeling fighty, I will probably have out Axel on my back.
Okay, sounds good. I like to think that there's like the little like pull out like cushion to like slightly extend the seat so two people could sit on it, sort of thing. Like
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh yeah, if I want. Well, I
Yeah.
feel like Richter would shred that. And
Yeah, Richter would
Bowie,
destroy that.
I don't want my. Back.
Yeah, so as you sort of like get a closer look, DJ, with your 19, you look around and you can see that like deep in the bushes there are 3 predators lying in wait, excuse me, not in wake. That's as you see that there are these long feline, like lanky forms with like an off-tan beige fur color, and a brilliant little like gemstone in the middle of their foreheads. As you see 3 Persians lying in wait to ambush the
Persian.
fuck out of you guys.
Ooh.
DJ, she's not really afraid of Persians because she's got Tabasco out, so she feels pretty good.
Yep.
So she's
Fighting
gonna go,
type advantage.
"Oh man, I just hope nothing super spooky comes out and jumps at us." And she's gonna take like a step or two forward and try and put herself and Tabasco kind of in the middle.
Okay. So you're kind of like pseudo baiting yourself at this moment.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, give me a sec. Yeah, let me roll some stuff. Oh, dude, that's the fucking lowest I possibly could have rolled on their awareness of the situation.
I mean, if they do nothing, I'm gonna have Lucario make a move first.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. As they, well, no, it's more like whether or not they knew this was you were now like
a
reverse
ruse.
trapping them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy 3 times.
Okay, so as you like are like, oh, I hope nothing happens, and look sort of like very innocent. The other 3 of you immediately clue in that
Oh, yeah.
DJ is baiting whatever is in the bushes.
Yeah.
DJ's like trying to get them out here. And there is a moment where you see one of the Persian like sort of like stalking off to one side and another, and they're beginning to like flank around you as one of them is going to start like pushing through and make its face known in almost sort of like an intimidating way, where if you had not spotted them, this would be like the velociraptors from Jurassic Park on like clever girl, like on either side of you sort of thing. And the main one who's sort of like leading like gets out in front on the path. And I'm gonna be honest, Lucario, not native predators here. It has no idea this is a fighting steel type. It does not know that it is at a huge disadvantage here. And is gonna look at you, and it's like that thing of like flexes the claws a little bit, like, are we gonna do this the easy way or the hard way? Kind of like,
You're a Persian.
Wise guy coming around in our part of the world.
wise guy, she.
Are there 2 of them in a line? Because you said there's 3, so
There's 3.
How do they
So
flank?
I think it's like one in the front.
there's the one directly in front of you on the path, and then one on either side of the path coming back around. So they're actively flanking you.
So I think DJ's gonna rotate a bit with Tabasco and try kind of like go a little bit further off the path and try and get them as much in a line as possible. And if he gets at least 2 of them in a line, he's gonna throw out a vacuum wave.
Okay, so before we get into the actual mechanics of fighting, I'll just track the scene real quick right here. So they're here, you're going, and you just, without a word, have Tabasco take off into the woods to go fuck these guys up.
No. Like, DJ's gonna be like, man, I hope nothing jumps out at us. And as she sees them splitting, she's gonna start walking slowly in the opposite direction. Like, they're gonna start revolving around each other until they line up like planets in orbit.
Okay, so as Tabasco starts to do the slow sidestep with the things up, everybody else who's got your Pokemon who's getting ready, any like status moves you guys want to do before we get into that? You totally can.
Status?
Like things that aren't going to actively engage combat before like combat begins, but like if you want to toss like a, I don't know, like a defense curl or something similar up, you guys can.
Oh.
If would I be able to put out in different Pokemon?
You can swap. I'll give you time to swap because you guys were not like they did not ambush you here. I'm
gonna leave Ava overhead. She's not gonna join the fight unless he has to. But Team Bonk's coming out.
Okay. Okay. Pulling a Torie out of your belt. With that, Gavin sort of like releases all Team Bonk, and then it's like slow-mo of like the step-by-step montage of like Tabasco stepping to the side, getting ready to move. Bonk out. Seth, was there anything on your end?
Well, will the status move be the move for the round, or
no? This is all before we get into the fight, sort of thing.
He'll taunt.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So as they get out, it's fucking. You have taunt from the back of your bike as Axel like, starts taunting. And then Coryne, what about you?
Nope, Coryne doesn't have any status moves. Myrtle's just waiting for shit to pop off.
Okay. Then with that, as this fight is about to pop off, that is where we're going to end today's episode of Unbeatable. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Let's kill these Pokemon.
We're an hour and a half in.
Okay,
I think we deserve to go.
And I have some hidden things up my sleeve regarding this fight. So we're going to go into a real fight next round. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you guys next time on Unbeatable. Goodbye, everybody.
Bullshit.
Thank you so much for watching. This episode of Unbeatable has been brought to you by the members of our Patreon. Specifically, thank you Cody Drebenstedt for supporting us. Our patrons see our episodes early and get access to our Discord where we interact with our community and gather questions for our monthly Q&As. See you next time, and stay unbeatable.
I am unbeatable. I'll train until I meet my goal. If stakes are high, no, I won't fold because I am unbeatable. Earning every badge, whatever it takes. I'm gonna be the best trainer. You just wait, and I know the road ahead looks like it won't be easy. I am unbeatable. Standing by my side, got my friends with me to explore a whole world of possibilities. But no matter what the challenge is, we can overcome it together. Because we are unbeatable, we'll train until we meet our goal. If stakes are high, no, we won't fold because we are unbeatable. We are unbeatable, we'll train until we meet our goal. If stakes are high, no, we won't fold because we are unbeatable.